if you're making your biggest decision sitting down, you're already at a disadvantage. And here's the uncomfortable truth. The longer you sit in that meeting room, the worse your thinking gets, not better. We've been taught that serious decisions require focus and structure and a chair. So we sit longer, we think harder, we push through. But have you ever noticed the more you try to force clarity at your desk, the more your thinking tightens? I'm Melanie, brain-based leadership coach, and today I'll show you why sitting still is limiting your leadership and what to do instead. Let me give you an example. A client I work with, let's call him David, a senior leader, highly capable, well-respected. He came to me not because he was overwhelmed, but because he was stuck in a very specific way. He said, I have all the information, I've analyzed this from every angle, but the decision just doesn't land. There was no confusion, there wasn't a case of incompetence, but a kind of internal friction, and every option had merit, every path had risk. So he stayed where many high performers stay, in analysis, refining, pairing, reevaluating, and from the outside it looked very productive, but from the inside it felt like going in circles. So instead of sitting down for another session, we went outside. At first, David did what most leaders do. He walked like he worked. So fast, focused, goal-oriented, still trying to solve the decision. But nothing changed. So I asked him to do something different. David, slow down. Lift your gaze and stop trying to decide. Just walk, look at the horizon and let your vision widen. And within minutes, something shifted. His pace changed, his breathing slowed, and then he said, oh, Melanie, it's strange. I'm not trying to solve it anymore, but it suddenly feels simpler. And that's the moment most people miss, because clarity didn't come from more effort. It came from a change in state. Here's what was happening in his brain. When you sit still, especially under pressure, your brain tends to lock into what we call cognitive rigidity. You narrow your focus and you analyze details, you try to control variables, and that's very useful for execution, yes, but it's a terrible state for complex decisions because real leadership decisions don't require more analysis, they require perspective. Now, when you move your body, and especially when you shift into a wider visual field, something powerful happens. Your brain transitions into cognitive flexibility. So you start seeing connections and weighing options differently, letting go of false constraints. And it's not that you think harder, it's that your brain finally has access to the kind of thinking the decision actually requires. So here's how to apply this. I call it the decision walk protocol. Next time you're facing a decision that feels stuck, start with step 1. Define the decision clearly. Just one sentence, no overthinking. Step 2, go outside and leave your phone behind, so no input, no distraction. Step 3, walk at a slower pace than feels natural. This is not an exercise, it's a neurological reset. Step 4, lift your gaze and engage your peripheral vision, so look far, not near. And step 5, don't force the answer, let it emerge. Because the goal is not to figure it out, the goal is to create the conditions in which clarity can find you. Great leadership isn't just about making decisions. It's about knowing how to access the level of thinking those decisions require. And sometimes the most strategic move you can make is to stop sitting still in your chair. I'm Melanie, and here we explore how to lead better by working with your brain, not against it. See you outside.